Well, greetings, my friends. It's a weekend edition of Interesting Ideas, and we have a few as we kind of, the week is finally done, close to it. It's been quite a challenging week for me and most of you, and in many, many ways. And so we look forward to what I oftentimes say is try and put an end to the week in terms of work by noon on Saturday, and then it's rest and reflection and recreation, time to think about life and enjoy your life, and then get ready for a time of worship and celebration, and then having a real good visit with your family. And then get ready for the marketplace later, much later on Sunday night. So I'm in finishing up the work for Saturday. And of course, what I did is I did the old radio trick, which is to have a rather extraordinary, unusual, or almost silly headline to try and get your attention. Yes. Could God ever be drunk? Well, it actually is based on a very serious and very wonderful idea. And I'll talk about that along with a number of other things that'll get you ready for the week. I'm Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas Weekend Edition, and it begins right now.
Come and listen in to a radio station where the mighty hosts of heaven sing. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. If you want to hear the songs of Zion coming from the land of endless spring.
One of the things that has always been unusual in my life, and it's happened a number of times, so I just kind of put it in, that's kind of a karma or grace gift that has come to me. That oftentimes I will just be going by a used bookstore or sometimes even a giveaway book situation, and I'll see a book or a title and something says, take it, and I've done that. And of course, sometimes it's free, and maybe it's a quarter or $1. And I've done that. And it's turned out that many of those books have actually been some very significant books in my life. Just the past week and a half, I came across something similar. It was there, laying in a stack of giveaway books in our church. And it's because I loved the title, Days of Awe and Wonder. Now, those are two of my favorite words in terms of my own faith. Awe. That should be the word that describes a religious experience, if we're seeking it and we have it. And then wonder, which, of course, is kind of wonderful, but it also means, what is this all about? This is strange. This is new. This is different. It's wonder. And that was the title, and I had never heard of the man, and he's now passed on, but by a gentleman named Marcus Borg. Marcus Borg. And he's the author of a book which I think I'll now pick up called Convictions. So, convictions. I'm more and more convinced that what is true is if you want to be successful, sit down and take some time and just say, this is true. This is what I believe. This is what I know is important to me. These are my convictions. And I oftentimes say is many times you want to be convicted of DWI. That's right. I want to have a number of DWI convictions, and that means that no, not drunk or driving while intoxicated. It doesn't mean that at all, but that's what it usually means. Drunk, driving while intoxicated, driving under the influence. But no, that's not what it means. It means convicted of demonstrated wisdom and insight. That you are known for, that you are in life and business guilty quite often of having some demonstrated wisdom and insight. So seek to be a man or a woman with DWIs. Well, days of awe and wonder, one of the terms that got me, and I'd heard the word before, but I never paid any attention to it. And it's besotted. Besotted. Have you ever heard that word? Besotted? Well, the guy was using it because one of the people that he was talking with, it's a woman who said that it is interesting that she believes that we can be besotted. God is besotted with us. God is besotted with you. God is besotted with me. That's the nature of God, to be besotted with you and me. Well, so I went and looked up, and I put on my reading glasses because the print was small. And, of course, one of my favorite books used to be a dictionary. Of course, now my little dictionary sits there because I just go online and there it is. And here's what it meant. Intoxicated or drunk. That's one of the meanings of besotted. However, the other meaning means to be strongly infatuated with. Strongly infatuated, almost emotionally over the top in love. Besotted, strongly infatuated with. And what the woman was saying is, in effect, most of us have had a view of God that is pretty judgmental, and he kind of sits there and says, okay, here are the rules and the regs. Make sure that you do the rituals, and so that you at least get a passing grade in religious rules and regulations. And a number of us know that that's not the God that most of us are with, but we do know that that's a view of God that many people have. And as many of us can say, it was kind of the God we were brought up with. Well, you better watch out. He's kind of like Santa Claus. He's keeping a list, and he's going to see who's naughty and nice. And of course, hopefully we'll make the nice more than the naughty. But her point was, God is very much in love with us. And once that becomes a real experience to you, just besotted, wildly in love with you, no matter what, that could be perhaps a new and very liberating way to go about our life. Well, that's one of the things that I learned and happened to me this past week, and so I share it with you in my stack of stuff. Hey, got a couple more things I'd like to share with you. Remember, Interesting Ideas is the flagship of my podcast. I do this one, and I'm doing about 2 more, and I'm helping a number of people like you do a number more. In fact, we're going to have a new podcast come on that is done by a gentleman. He's incredible, cowboy. He's one of the leaders of the cowboy church movement. Have you ever heard of that? It's incredible. The cowboy church movement. And his name is Randy, and Pastor Randy, who is a real, honest-to-goodness cowboy, and has had an incredible life of ups and downs, and hard jobs and bad jobs and good jobs, and worked with great people and worked with really bad people. He's going to be telling a number of his stories, particularly about how you can learn about life from Horses. He's written a book called Lessons from Horses. Now, look that book up. Lessons from Horses by Randy Helm. And if you have any sense of cowboy in you, your inner cowboy, or you love the idea of horses, that's a book you should read. And we'll be talking about it on one of our podcasts as soon as Randy can decide what he wants to call it. Okay, so that's coming up. Also, coming up this week, I want to spend some time talking about quiet. Now, I was struck by a summary, and it's a book by, okay, here we go, Susan Cain. See, I just don't talk about my own stuff. I want to promote other people's stuff. Susan Cain, and it's called Quiet: The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. So, this is really great. In fact, next week I'm going to spend, I think, most of the 2 or 3 programs next week talking about that. First of all, let me tell you, even though you'll see me on thousands of videos and hundreds and thousands maybe of different radio programs, I've done a lot of public speaking, that's an unnatural act for me because I am an incredible introvert. And to be extroverted is incredibly difficult for me. And someone once said, well, how do you do that? And I said, 50 years of practice. But I want to find out more about it because we tend to over-evaluate and give greater credit to the extroverts, the personalities, the influencers, the whole social media and much of our entertainment world is we listen to people who talk too much and talk all the time and talk about themselves and put themselves out there. And so I'm interested to find what Susan has to say about quiet, the power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. Well, I'll stop for a while. Hi, this is Stan Houston. Please reach out to me. I do think that it will be good for you to understand a little bit more about how the ability, even as an introvert, to do things that will help you in your ability to express yourself. As I say, to kind of master the art of self-expression. That's the kind of world we live in. And if you're an introvert, we can help you have that happen. And doing just exactly what I'm doing is putting yourself on the radio, learning how to do that, how to enjoy it, how not to be afraid of it, to even look forward to it. That's what witradio.net, that's kind of the demonstration manual for what it takes radio, where we're going to help you learn how to, here we go, connect and reach with your audience. Everybody has an audience. Connect and reach with your audience. Bring your story and your message and your offer to life. Make it live. And maybe even have a touch of immortality. That's right. I'm Stan Houston. This is Interesting Ideas. We'll have a closing, hey, something good coming up, something you need to know next week, and then best and blessings from that time on. We'll be right back. Okay, this is also to come, and if you want to, here it goes. How to win the AI war. Now, obviously, there's hundreds, thousands of these articles and podcasts out now about artificial intelligence. And of course, I've been somewhat guilty of that, but I've not done it anywhere near as much as some people because I'm still in the process of figuring it out. But a guy named Arthur Herman. Now, isn't it interesting that some of the smartest people, the most helpful people, the ones that can really be helpful and useful to us, we've never heard of. And the ones we always hear of are of no help to us. How to win the AI war. And it is probably one of the best explanations that I have found. And I don't have to buy a big book. It's a lengthy article, about 8 or 9 pages. But we'll talk about it, and I'll get it down to about 15, 20 minutes for you. But it really helps. And it's, hey, the people who are saying, be afraid, be scared, hold it. We don't know that. Remember, WDKT. We don't know that. And then it's a rather balanced assumption of how it could be very, very useful. And we'll kind of guide you into that and hopefully talk more about it in the week ahead, along with all the other things we have to do. Final thought. Hey, take some time to think about your time. There was an interesting story that just hit me where the person is telling the story of a rather grumpy man. He was a cobbler, he was a shoemaker, and she got a call back that her shoes were ready, and he's usually kind of grouchy. But after talking shortly, he closed by saying, okay, what are you going to do this summer? By the way, good question. What are your summer intentions? We're putting that together right now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do this summer? And she said, and then he simply said, enjoy your time. Are we on limited time? What, do you know something that we don't know? Enjoy your time. It's a nice greeting if you think about it. Enjoy your time. Well, what do you think about that? We're done for today. As I oftentimes say, a good podcast should be helpful, thoughtful, perhaps fun, a little bit imaginative, and if you can keep it to 20, 25 minutes, that's probably what you should do. And here we are. It's a Saturday morning, and we're ready to quit. And hopefully you'll listen to this maybe tomorrow, maybe this afternoon. It's something for the weekend, and you should look those references and recommendations up. I think you might find something worthwhile. And I would love to hear from you. That's what this is all about. It's talk back time. You tell me, and what I would love to do is very much say, hey, would you come on the radio show? And you'd say, how would I do that? And I say, do you have a telephone? That's all it takes. You don't have to have anything else but a telephone. No computer, no microphone, no Zoom. Don't need any of those things. You just need a telephone to be on interesting ideas. Hey, all the best and blessings to you. And I mean that sincerely. I'm grateful for you that, you take 18 minutes of your time, your precious time listening to the program. I'm very grateful, and I'm very grateful for your time and attention. And I'm grateful for the good things that you oftentimes help me with. So I appreciate you. And enjoy your time. Bye for now.